Here we are back with another episode at Under the Sombrero. I can't believe it. It's our 15th episode, which is pretty crazy, but here we are again with a little special treat this time since we've been talking about food a lot. So we're changing pace a little bit, no?
Yeah, Andrew, here we are again for being it's the third episode. Thank you.
Part
And
two.
we are going. Sorry?
Part two.
Yeah.
Back to back weeks for you.
Yeah. So, what are talking about today?
What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about something special in Mexico.
Okay. What is this kind of special thing?
It's like a pretty traditional dessert
Uh-huh.
in this country. So, let's start with this if you want.
I think that would be a good idea to jump in today's podcast.
Let's do this then.
Bringing you Under the Sombrero from the eyes of an American and a Mexican sharing a fresh perspective of Mexico. Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Hi Andrew, fine, thank you.
I think we have a guest over there that I think is ready to talk.
Yeah. Let her to talk.
Hello, Andrew and Nectar. How are you?
We're fine, thanks.
How are you?
I'm very happy. Thank you for the invitation. I'm really appreciate the time that we were sharing in this moment. So I'm really happy for that.
I'm glad it's finally happening, and I think you have some rich history to share and maybe some cool experiences you've had amongst this sweet treat.
Yes, of course. The topic of today is about, as Hector said, about a traditional dessert. We know as a churros, and that kind of dessert is a traditional dessert that we can find in almost all Mexico, I think. And that kind of dessert are a fried dessert with sugar and cinnamon, and each place in Mexico have their unique way to cook them, and you can find it and enjoy it with some drink, and I think that you can choose your best kind of churro.
Where are typically the best churros found, would you say? Where can you find the best churros?
I mean that, for example, in my family, we make two kinds of churros.
Okay.
One of them is a traditional churro that is a large, and the other kind of churro is called, well, I know that kind of churro as a churro gordo.
Okay.
Oh, churro gordo.
Yes.
Sounds weird to me, but it's delicious.
Sounds like it.
Yes, it's delicious. And I mean, when I say that your favorite churro gordo, because that kind of churro is with some filling, whatever you want, like a cajeta or marmalade or Nutella or something like that. Chocolate, for example, and you can eat it with some drink, for example, coffee or tea or hot chocolate, and that's why I say that you can find your favorite churro gordo.
I've never had one, but having some experiences in Mexico City, the first time I had churros in Mexico, I've had them here. They're quite popular in the United States, but having it with Mexican hot chocolate, oof, that was a really good combination. I could easily probably eat that and drink that every single day of my life without a problem.
Yes, you have to find your favorite when in your next visit in Mexico.
No, that's definitely true. I didn't try cajeta, which is similar to like a caramel, no?
Yes, it's a kind of caramel made by milk,
Uh-huh.
and caramel is a mix of them, and I really like it.
Would that be your favorite type of filling in a churro, or what do you think is the best?
Oh, it's a difficult decision, but
Yeah,
I
it's very
think
difficult.
that, yes, I think that the most popular is with cajeta.
Okay.
Yes,
Is that your
I'm
favorite,
agree
Hector?
with you. Yeah, it's my favorite one.
Very good. Could you, before we get into like kind of like the history of like how you got started into churros, what's the kind of like the story, the history behind churros? How did they come to Mexico?
Yes, of course. Uh, as we know, the churros are very popular in many places around the world.
Hmm.
So in Mexico, the history of the churros began when Hernan Cortés comes to America during the conquest. And as other cuisine or as other European gastronomy was extended through Mexico and South America, the churro was the same way that we know that kind of food or that kind of dessert. So that's the way that we know the churro in Mexico.
So let me ask you something,
Yes.
Yasmin. Uh, the churro, it's from Spain or it's from Mexico? It's like a combination between an European gastronomy and Mexican gastronomy.
It's a mix, but it's more for Spain. Uh, in Spain, there are porras that
Okay.
is the I never taste them, no, but but I
Okay.
saw the pictures and the weight and is similar to the churro that we know in Mexico, but the origin of the churro it was in China, I think,
Okay.
but in Spain and in Europe they get the recipe and they change the some ingredients. For example, in China, use salt instead of sugar.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
in Europe, they change some ingredients to make the churro that now we know. And then the name of the churro was called, or the churros, they are called churro because they look like the shape of the horn of the churra sheep.
Hmm.
So that's why they called with that name.
So you're telling us that we call it churro because we're a part of an animal.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
because because
I did it.
they look like the horn of the churra sheep, but
Okay.
because the churro is in a curly way.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So that's why.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's quite interesting to kind of compare
Yeah.
it to the shape of the animal and then kind of take the name after it as well. Is quite interesting.
Yes.
I guess you could make the comparison with a lot of foods that have like unique names. It's just like, why do they have those names? It's just because probably one day somebody decided to call it that, and then everybody else started calling it too that name.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
there you go.
it is for the traditional churro, but the
Mm,
churro gordo is because the churro is a little
Fat.
fat and uh,
like a little
Bigger.
gordo.
It's bigger than the traditional one.
Uh-huh.
yes.
How do you know so much about churros, Hasman?
I I grew up in a family that make churros.
Hmm.
So since I was a child, I know this this tradition because my family made the churros, and in fact I am the third generation of selling churros. My grandfather started with this traditional business in 1961.
Okay.
So that's why I know something about churros, and I know how to make them.
Wow. And kind of to go along with that, did you learn anything from your grandfather? Did you ever see him making any churros growing up?
Yes, I saw my grandfather. I remember when I visit him. I remember that I arrived to his house,
Mhm.
and he was making the dough, and that's why I really like and I love that tradition because I remember that time when I were with him.
Mm.
Okay, so sorry, Andrew.
No, go ahead.
So did he teach you, or did you just learn by watching?
Oh no. I learned because I helped my grandfather and my father, and nowadays I sell churros with my brothers, and I know because my grandfather and my father taught me and taught to my siblings.
Was it
Okay.
was it like a difficult experience, like learning, or was it quite easy, do you think, or did it take you some time to get more comfortable like making the churros and like cooking
Uh,
them as well? Uh-huh.
I think that is easy, but you have no. You need to use a technique because sometimes if you don't move the valve in a good way, then
Mhm.
you can't get the good stuff. But I think that it's not easy, but you have to practice to make a good dough and with good flavor.
So it's quite difficult to get like the shape of the churro from the dough. It's something
Yes,
quite okay. It's kind
yes,
of like an art kind of in a way. Would you describe it like that?
yes,
It's something similar with the tortilla or with the bread. You need to have the or you need to learn how to prepare the right way the dough, because that's the secret or of the bakery sometimes.
yes. It's
So
like
the churros that you make are with pink dough or white dough,
no white.
because in I found in some places with pink dough, and that ones are my favorite ones. The taste is it's so different.
It's different. I don't know. I have ever seen that kind of churros just in a picture, but I never tried.
They are they the taste is different. The flavor is so different.
I think there is maybe some kind of chocolate or something like that.
I don't know what they put in the dog, but it's the flavor it's different. That's why the the ones that have the pink dog are my favorite ones.
Hmm.
Okay.
Where do you find the one with the pink doughs? You find them on the street, or is it more like street food, or
No, it's I don't know. It's like street food, because I found that in a little stores, not even in a bakery, not even in a place that where the people sell churros, like in the like Jasmine. I just found it in little stores. My grandfather has a little store, and he used to sell this kind of churros.
it's interesting. Do you think it's something from Puebla or
Maybe
okay,
it could be. It could be.
okay. Speaking of kind of like this mysterious like pink in churros, where did you end up getting where did the recipe start from? how did your grandfather get a recipe together? Did somebody teach him?
Yes, my grandfather started to with this tradition or with this business when he came to live in Guadalajara, and he learned to make churros. And over the time, he was innovating and improving the recipe because at the beginning, the dough isn't as good as now. And he learned someone taught him to make the dough because when he and his family arrived to Guadalajara, they experienced an economic crisis. So someone taught him to make churros while he get a job. So that's why my grandfather started. And this in this case, the crisis was an opportunity to my grandfather, and nowadays is a familiar business familiar.
Many big brands starts in this way.
Yes, yes.
And what has like motivated you to like keep the family tradition going? So, because now you said you're the third generation.
What's motivating me? I think that I really enjoyed because more than a business is a hobby. I think for me and my siblings, because I really enjoy the time that I spend with my brother, for example, and I really like the way that I know that the people enjoy the churro when they taste it. And just to remember the my grandfather, the way that he worked to create this tradition, no? And I think that my family is the motivation that I have.
I think that's really.
I don't know you, Andrew, but I need a hobby like this.
Maybe it's this podcast.
Yeah, maybe I need a hobby that leaves me money.
I'm sorry, this podcast is this for fun. It's not for money, my friend. I'm sorry. But no, that's a good point. I think that's cool. Like to have a hobby that you can enjoy and also make a little bit money while you're having fun and kind of carry on the family tradition, which I think a lot of people can't say. And I think it's a unique opportunity that you have, Hasmin.
Yes.
Very good. And in addition to that, like you started telling me about like the process is quite difficult to make churros. What are like the tools and like the cooking devices you're using to make churros?
Yes, it is. We don't need a lot of tools. I think the basic tools that we need is metal sharing. I'm not sure if I pronounce the metal sharing and
Syringe.
Syringe. Okay, and a metal container to heat the oil, and a large metal hook to remove the churros from the oil. And the traditional churro is a little more complicated than the churro gordo because we made one piece of churro, a big churro. If you don't make the good circle, you can put all together. And at the end, it isn't a churro, no? But first of all, we have to fill the sharing with the dough. And we must before make churros, we have to to be sure that the oil is very hot, because we need a high temperature in the oil.
Mhm.
So how I know that the oil is ready? We put a little piece of dough in the oil, the hot oil, and if the that little piece of dough floats quickly, we know that the oil is ready. No,
Mm.
if not, we must wait some minutes to get the hot oil ready.
Mm.
Yes, and once that the oil is ready, it is necessary to pick up the string and push it with the hands and the stomach, for example, and then the dough comes out of the in a churro shape, and it is necessary to make little circles until create a spiral, and we make like 3 circles kind of, and we make a big churro and a big one piece of churro. So when the churro is ready, we have to remove the churro from the oil, and then you can put the piece of you want, and then well, it is necessary to put some sugar with cinnamon, and finally you can enjoy it, the traditional churro.
So you made a big spiral of churro, and
Yes.
then you cut it.
Yes, at the end, when I remove the spiral from the oil, I cut the pieces of the churro.
Okay.
Sounds like
That,
quite
that,
the. Go ahead.
yes, that's the way that we made the churro, but nowadays there are machines that make the each piece of churro,
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw that.
and looks like a stick or something like that.
Yeah, they made like a piece, and piece like a for 10 or 15 centimeters.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah, piece by piece,
Yes, one by one. And
one by one.
one by one, but we made a spiral, and then we cut them.
Okay.
Mm. Wow, I mean, this the way you describe it, it sounds like quite the process to make a lot of churros for like a day, like keep going and going and going through that churro. Because like Hector mentioned, like he's seen like manual machines, I mean automatic machines. You guys are doing this all by hand, which
Yes,
obviously is a lot more work.
yes, and the churro gordo
Mhm.
is we made it in a different way, because we made it by hand,
Okay.
and we made each piece of churro, and we put in the oil, and when we remove the churro from the oil, we could and open the churro to fill the churro with chocolate, Nutella, cajeta, or whatever you want.
Mm. Where can we find these delicious churros that you're selling?
Where?
Uh-huh.
Where in Guadalajara you can find the best churros.
Okay.
Okay. we need to try it.
Yes,
My next visit to Guadalajara,
of
I need
course.
to try it.
You must try it.
Okay.
Very good. Are you guys only open on weekends? I think you're still in the process of creating a name, but do you guys usually sell for like events or sell in the same places on the weekend or?
Yes, we sell the churros on the weekends,
Mhm.
and but uh, but we make churros from events. If you have a party, we can make churros instead of I forgot the name. We can make churros as a dessert from your party, or it's for us. It is the way that we sell churros, but you can find the churros in a cafe, in a restaurant, or in the street. You can find almost in all the church in the city. You can find a stand with the churros.
Mm. Sounds really good and really tasty. I mean, like you told me, like once you guys get a brand and like social media and everything going, like just let us know and we'll be more than happy to kind of
Yes.
promote your guys' little business, small business, which is cool.
Now my brothers and I, we are working in a brand and social media to promote the churros and to make that more people know about our product. And then I will share with you the information and the social media to know the process and the places that you can find it. And as I told you, each person have the way to make the unique way to make the churros. So I think you can find a lot of churrerias, for example, but you can taste very different flavors and ways to make them.
Well, that's definitely a good point. I think it changes from place to place, and like you told us, the best ones are in Guadalajara. So
Yes,
we'll
yes.
definitely.
For example, there are some places that you can find the churro with an ice cream or with fruit like strawberries or a banana or something like that. That can be another kind of feeling for your churros.
Sounds quite delicious too. A lot of calories and sugar, but who cares at that point? It's time to enjoy, right?
But it's once is not too bad.
That's true. Just not every day. Only if you want to. Maybe not a good health decision, but very good. Is there anything you guys would like to add before we wrap up today's episode?
No, I need to go out and find a churro right now.
It's kind of late, Hector. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Welcome to Guadalajara.
Very good. It was a pleasure having you on, Yasmin, and I look forward to possibly having you on again. I really enjoyed it. And thank you, Hector, as well.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Hector. I really enjoyed that time. And I see you soon here in Guadalajara to bring the churros.
Okay.
Very good.
We hope visit you soon.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.